I remember after school one day, my dad took me down Woolworths. Remember Woolworths, kids? And we were looking through the PS1 games. You had the Platinum section. And he bought me Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Final Fantasy VII. And we got it home. I turned it on. And there's that opening scene where the camera pans across the stars and down to Ares because she's hanging out in an alleyway as flower girls do.
And then she comes out into the street and it pans a little bit. And then it cranes all the way out so you can see like the whole city.
And yeah, just that music, that title music, just epic music.
It's such a cool cinematic.
That iconic music, that theme tune really started up, and yeah, it's wonderful glory.
A lot of people moan about the Midgar section, but I think it was brilliant in setting the tone of the game, and it just felt like after about a third of the game spent in that city, you get out and it was like this breath of fresh air. It was just this huge world. But yeah, it was good. It was depressing and crushing, and that's exactly what I look for in a game.
There's those, very sort of classic moments that everyone sees, like, blowing up reactors and fighting Sephiroth and stuff, but favourite moments? Just fucking around in a gold saucer. Always the gold saucer.
If I had to pick a favourite moment, it would probably be the whole Cosmo Canyon scene. I don't know what it was, but I just loved seeing it when everyone was sitting around the campfire and chatting, and it was a sense of camaraderie, and yeah, just finding out that Red 13's father wasn't a douchebag, and he hadn't gone to the shop for cigarettes.
That's probably... I remember staying off school, pretending to be sick, and staying off school purely so I could play like Final Fantasy.
Multiple discs? That's a concept quite foreign to the youngsters these days, isn't it?
It's when you fight Sephiroth at the end and he's all like Cloud Baby, and he does the supernova. And the first time I saw that, I was insane, because it goes on, you're like in space, and the equations and the shit. The first time I was, oh my god!
Weapon, destroy Midgar.
Oh, stealing the tiny Bronco, that was fun.
At the back of the bike, swinging the sword, getting all the dudes with the fucking,
Fighting Rufus on the roof.
Cross-dressing, yes.
Long story short, anyway, you end up in a frock.
Satin dresses and fancy wigs and perfumes, and Cloud made a good-looking woman.
Getting into the Honeybee Inn, getting lathered up by dudes in a hot tub.
Descending to North Crater in your little airship, that was always fun. And putting your little save point crystal in a really dumb place in there, like right at the top, and not having anywhere to save the entire working your way down.
The whole Wutai section again, when Yuffie makes off with your materia and you've got to get it back. That was difficult without materia, but it was fun.
Emerald weapon, ruby weapon.
The Biggs and Wedge, that completely passed me by. Obviously, because I hadn't seen Star Wars and I was too young to make the connection. But then I watched Star Wars and I came back and I was like, well, shit.
Crossing the marsh and just getting absolutely wiped out by the Midgar Zolom.
I mean, the first time I learned, they're like, you need a chocobo to do it, and you're like, yeah, bullshit. I can take that. And you walk into that marsh and you get obliterated.
Thinking you can get by without a chocobo, but, time makes fools of us all.
Well, I played the game until the clock just stopped counting.
My PlayStation copy and how it met its demise. I fucking lent it to my mate up the road, Andrew, and he put it on a fucking radiator. 999 hours, 99 minutes and 99 seconds. You've played the game too much when the clock stops counting. I mean, they obviously didn't take into account that somebody out there would sit and go, yeah, I could sink over 1,000 hours into this game. And, yeah, prove them wrong. Favourite character is probably going to be Barrett. because he was pretty cool. He was the way he changes throughout the game. He's like, in the beginning he's really angry and hates the world. He comes good at the end of the game, and he's kind of like repentant for being such a bastard, and that was kind of cool.
My favourite character is probably Yuffie, because no one likes her, and I like the underdog. Nobody wants to play as her. Like, you're walking across the overworld, and she just pops up randomly in a battle, and you're like, who is this bint with a star? And then you've got to watch what you say, she doesn't run off. Yeah, I like Yuffie a lot, she's fun. Doing the whole, the section in Wu-Tai, when you're going through the pagoda as her alone. Yeah, it's good.
I'm going to say Vincent, as usual. Or Red 13. I've become more prone to Red 13 over the years, I must admit. But yeah, Vincent. Styling. He's styling. Gold gauntlet, red cloak. And his limit breaks, although not the best, turns into like a dude with a chainsaw. It's basically, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Final Fantasy. Texas Fantasy Massacre. Midgar Chainsaw Massacre.
Usual squad. I used to like Sid and Tifa. Tifa was cool. It's the first sex symbol. Damn Norks though.
My party usually consists of Cloud, because you have to. Yuffie, just because she's badass. And I also like Sid as well. I like the characters that nobody likes. I like Sid and Yuffie.
Drink your goddamn tea.
Drink your goddamn tea.
Well, unfortunately, you're forced to use Mr. Spiky Emo. But usually Tifa, and then either Red 13 or Vincent. Always Tifa as well, because, yeah, she's nails and boobs. Always boobs. I'm sorry, I was a teenager. Boobs. Incentive to play.
Is there any question? The least favourite character? Kate Sith? Or what is it? Kai Chi, or whatever it's pronounced. Kate Sith! So it's spelt. Useless. Double-crossing Lando Calrissian of a human being. Oh wait, he's not a human being. He's a talking robot with a cat on top with a megaphone. Giving it all that. Controlled by some dude at Microsoft. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I actually kind of liked all the characters over time. But yeah, probably Kate Sith if I had to say somebody still. I don't know, Kate Sith. Stupid weapon, stupid limit break, and it's a robot with a cat on its head. But no, I don't know. There's nothing likable about that. And he's a cunt. He double crosses you. He double crosses you and robs your ass at Gold Saucer. All his fond memories of playing at the Gold Saucer, and he robs you.
Cloud, by far. Oh, I'm me. Oh, I'm not me. But I am me. But I'm not really. Sephiroth's in my head again. Fuck. I'm going to tell you a load of lies about my life. I'm going to make shit up because I'm embarrassed that I was just a fucking infantryman. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
The music. That wonderful soundtrack.
It's the most perfect musical score in existence, blatantly. Every character has their own, their own amazing theme tune. There's no bad theme tunes. Even the shite characters have good theme tunes.
The music was awesome. I think it's got to be the battle music, isn't it? And then the kind of the little fanfare at the end of your at the end of your combat sticks with everybody.
The Turks theme, which is my ringtone as well, actually. So good times.
It's hard to think of a song that isn't good on that soundtrack. I mean, just the opening title theme was fantastic. The battle theme was perfect with the cheesy MIDI guitars. After coming from the Super Nintendo, I think Nobuo Uematsu had a bit of a field day when it came to, you have instruments now, you can make noise. And I always loved Sid's theme. I don't know, it was just really epic and building. And
Eris, her theme was pretty nifty. You like that? Some of the techno stuff as well was like fucking really heavy. It was really intense.
Genova theme was pretty cool. I always liked the fight in Genova and the music behind that. If I had to pick a favourite, it might be Cosmo Canyon, just because the tone and the atmosphere of the music, it was amazing, incredible, brilliant scene.
Probably the Chocobo theme. It's just jaunty and catchy and fun, and they're always fun in every game. But Sevens was,
Yeah, the materia system was interesting. I mean, it was one of my favourite ways in the entire series to customise your characters.
Oh, fucking confused the balls out of me. I still don't understand. You put some in some slots and then you do nifty things and... I'll be honest, I play it mostly by ear. Just fire things in randomly and look for the best.
I mean, in Final Fantasy IV, you had like people stuck to certain roles, and to some extent 9 as well. 7, you could pretty much customize anyone to do anything, with the exception of limit breaks.
Jamming it in the fucking material. Didn't fucking understand you.
It was the best. It was the best like magic system in the game. You know, you could mix all your various ones, support and fucking magic and summon and pink materia, as it was referred to in the business. Command materia was also quite important, but pink materia, it doesn't have a name, it's just pink.
Yeah, some of the materia combinations were incredible. The obvious one I liked was Hades and added effect to your weapon, so you attack and they're just absolutely under the weather.
Or using it for the defensive method, so effectively having a ribbon, but using materia. That's always useful too.
Phoenix All, of course, if you die. And you can have like counter, double cut, slash all, and you get breathed on and you just attack everything on the screen. Yeah, just the combinations, the possibilities were endless. Limit breaks.
I remember Tifa's being a pain in the ass because it was like a fucking roulette. You just roll it and you could get all 7. I think you could like stack 7, could you not? But you couldn't also miss all of them. It's just no fun for anybody then.
Balance were pretty good. Yeah. Like you had the all those sort of charged up. I can't remember what it's called because I didn't use them enough, but yeah, they were pretty cool. All of them were pretty awesome. Like satellite beam and stuff, I think it was. Yeah, that was cool. That was good.
Omni Slash. Cloud's Limit Breaks. Omni Slash was the tits. Barrett's Catastrophe and the incorrectly spelt Ungarmax in the European version.
Omni Slash. That's all.
Euphies were just, attack. They were pissing around as a werewolf or a hockey mask wielding demon.
The mini games, I've never been so angry.
Snowboarding, biking. I think biking was my favourite personally. And when you first do it in the story, the boss battle at the end's pretty cool.
Never in my life have I been so cross. That fucking snowboarding game. It's like trying to drive a tank.
The motorbike game, the snowboarding, which had some of the worst controls ever. It was still kind of fun, but fuck me, it was difficult.
I think I could probably do better at real life snowboarding than I could at that fucking game.
Feeding the Moogle.
Oh, Mog's house. Tedious thing that is Mog's house. Ah, fuck that game.
Yeah, so Chocobo breeding, I mean, that was like a game in itself. The point of getting the gold Chocobo by breeding was to get the ultimate materia, like Knights of the Round, HPMP, is it? Quadramagic, and yeah, getting the gold Chocobo. What a mission.
But yeah, the tedious / joyful, and going to visit the Chocobo Sage by North Crater and learning about the nuts and the greens and the wonderful Chocobos. Yeah, it was a good system. It worked, and it was certainly something to keep you playing, I guess, if you really wanted Knights around, which was the only incentive to drive you to get a gold Chocobo, and you let them, I think mine had a really awful name at the end, like Gary or something. It's Gary the gold Chocobo, so...
That's like side quest stuff. I did have a go, but much like the materia, I was trying to fit round pegs and square holes. I had no idea what I was doing.
I remember once when I spent an entire week breeding Chocobos to get the gold one. I didn't have a guide, I just fucked around with nuts and various educational magazines. An entire week spent dedicated to Chocobo breeding. Got my Knights of the Round materia, went to a friend's house, I went to show him, and for some reason my memory card had wiped and destroyed all my data. A week wasted. The gold saucer, that was fun. Apart from the fact you have to pay to save. It's basically like paying 20p in London to have a piss.
I will spam that bike game forever.
Not a lot of people know that you can actually date 4 different characters in the gold saucer. So most people who play the game end up dating Tifa or Iris. But with a bit of playing around, you can actually date Yuffie as well. And my personal favourite is when you can get Barrett to come with you. Bro date. Nice.
beers to the carousel.
Couple of beers on the carousel. Sneaking beers into the fairground rides.
I always like women. Not that it would be a bad thing to date Barrett. I'm sure he's a lovely guy when you get to know him. And, you know, he seems like he could really look after a man, but...
The death scene. There's a lot of people who'll say Iris' death is one of the saddest moments in gaming, and I mean, that was the first RPG that really took off over here, and not many people had seen main characters die and things like that, and it was quite impacting. I was quite young when I played it. It didn't really strike me, you know, it's like, she's dead. Do I get an extra life? Does she come back? Will she emerge from a warp pipe? But yeah, I mean, going back and seeing it, like, there's a lot of character deaths in the series, and I think that one was one of the big ones. Sephiroth's a prick.
I can't talk about all that fucking materia. All that meticulously planned materia that I spent so long thinking about and, you know, planning. Then fucking big swords and lying in pools of water and... No! Kind of shit. Just upsets me. Something akin to snowboard rage. It's the first time I'd actually seen any real kind of... made any sort of real kind of emotional connection with the game. So obviously, what else was I playing at the time? Like Zelda and GoldenEye and GoldenEye randomly killing any fucker who crosses your path. And Zelda, there's no real emotion behind it. It's just kind of getting on with it. But this, you play through like the first third of the game, and you become like invested in these characters, and then she's dead and she's gone. And oh, fucking hell, all that materia.
For all the Iris lovers out there, what a fantastic moment. That whingy little bitch got dead. So one moment I looked at Sephiroth and went, I like that guy. It's done the world a favour. I mean, admittedly, you know, it made half the game a bit of like a wasted effort, but whatever, it's fine. And it saved Cloud the hassle of that funky love triangle he had going on as well. Having a hard time with your love life? Kill one of the prospective women in your life. It's all good. Beans wise words.
Sephiroth was an interesting villain. I mean, he was no Kefka. He wasn't an evil prick trying to destroy the world. Until later. Yeah, I mean, the other day he just wanted his mammy, didn't he? And yeah, bit of a Norman Bates, but a good villain nonetheless.
Sure, people out there were jonesing for a giant samurai sword so they could replicate it in some way, shape, or form. I mean, kids are so easily influenced by video games in this day and age that they're all out there stabbing each other with some form of weapon, burning down villages and summoning meteors from the sky. I liked Sephiroth though. He was a likeable villain. He was one of those like really good villains. Deadly Medium does not advocate terrorism or extremism of any variety, be it religious or tyrannical.
Turns up, and he's an orphan. His parents are scientists. They've cloned him. He's everybody and nobody at once. He's fucking everywhere. Really gets on my tits. Lots of emotional kind of fringe flicking and staring off into the distance. He's just a bit of a pretentious wanker. And that big ass sword as well.
Yeah, it's amazing the game made out at all. I mean, in the state it was in, with all the glitches, all the spelling mistakes, all the typos, the magic defense stat that was broken, utterly pointless. Like, nothing you did would make a difference to that. And certain weapons and armor were pointless. So was the farming for the source that made your magic defense go up. If you do the Fort Condor quest properly, and you get to like the 15th or 16th battle, it starts giving you items without names and wrong names, and it's just so broken.
I think it made it more fun. Various things that, like, you know, awful translations and various glitches and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, none of them had a massive effect on the overall game. It was still, like, one of the most flawless games in existence as far as, like, you know, wasting life on it goes. I say wasting, that's a bit harsh. They're the most perfect hours of my life.
Poor translation, but that's something we could fix in the remake.
I still can't believe they're remaking it. I'm very, very worried they're going to fuck it up. Yeah, I mean, it'll be amazing to hear voice acting if that's an option. It could do with better graphics, but then how far do you go? It'd be great to hear the music redone in HD. That's one thing they probably can't fuck up too badly. The cross-dressing scene better make it in there. I just hope they don't change the battle system too much. They've talked about it, and the materia system and the battle system, I mean, that's the main hook of the game. That was the best bit.
No. Turn-based combat is fine. Static turn-based combat. Don't need any of this fucking manoeuvring bullshit.
The remake will have additional story, and I hope that doesn't equate to DLC or microtransactions. Optional characters. Optionally bought.
I'm scared. As an honest to God, I'm terrified. It could be wonderful. It could be fucking awful. If they change the battle system, I'm gonna be tamping. We're not gonna play it. We're gonna look at it. It's gonna be like, with this new improved Final Fantasy 13-esque battle system, we're just gonna go, no. I'm excited for voice acting. That could be interesting, I guess. Motorbikes in HD, and guns, boobs, explosions, and giant yellow chickens in HD. I think there were good and bad things about it. There were pros and cons to a HD remake in any situation. I mean, I think it might take away something from the old broken version, especially if they polish it all up. I mean, I liked the mistranslations. It kind of made the game what it was in a way. But at the same time, I don't know, I'm excited for it still though. I guess as a Final Fantasy player, you always are excited when they just generally go, Final Fantasy. And you're like, good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, regardless of the fact that it could be an utter pile of shite. And in worst case scenario, I've got 2 copies of 7 on PS1 I can go back to if it is a heap of crap. Heap of crap.
The remake. Fucking dead excited for that. I will spend all of my cash monies on brand new consoles and controllers and plushies and dolls and figures and books and films, and I don't give a fuck. Anything. Anything. I might even sack off the rent. I have to pay the electricity because we need the electricity to actually play the game. I could do without water. I need a shower. If there is any DLC, I'm going to be raving. You get like the fucking Best Buy exclusives and the bullshit. Release the game. Release the game. I don't buy my burger, lettuce and tomatoes and fucking bun at a time, do I? I buy it together, assembled, ready to go so I can eat it. I'm going to be fucking waiting 3 weeks for my tomatoes to turn up.
FF7. Definitely in the top 3 in the franchise. One of the best RPGs out there. It's a shame it's so goddamn broken. And the graphics look like Mega Blocks. But yeah, great game. Still played to this day. Hundreds of hours spent.
The most confusing game I have ever played in my life.
Final Fantasy VII. Guns, boobs, explosions, yellow chicken birds! $999